Wait for it, we're jumping in.
Back in your own backyard, you'll see what colors played through your window pane.
Yeah, you know where this one's going, eh? Everything that's English, British. So I've also got out, so to watch that, comes from a box set, Royal Britannia. Also got, so it's a box set, goes right through up until, where is it, the 1960s? Oh, it's not a love bite, I grazed myself yesterday. No, I did, honestly. Now, we've talked about this before, haven't we? Sorry, YouTubers, I haven't had time to do any proper filming. It moves forward so fast, doesn't it? This last week since I had a rant and I got all my notes done for the next thing, and it literally has gone, whoosh, something else. But today I always think my granddad, we've done this before, he was on the lights, so he went around Great Britain on the lights with the AT guns next door, whatever they were called, boom, 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 looking for the enemy bombing civilians. Of course, we've done this before, my granddad, and then there's my granddad again there. I got the ribbon from HMS Cornflower. I'm going to get to this. Yeah, I'm going into one, but I'll try not to swear. So there's my grandfather, I don't know, a couple of years before he died. There he is as a young man, just joined the Navy. There's his good friend and neighbour from Lowestoft, Ernie, right? They were best friends. He died in the Second World War, and my grandfather, I could almost cry because he's talked about this. He died in the Second World War where my grandfather didn't. And I'm now getting to it, eh? You saw that 100-year-old man on this morning, Kate Galloway. She wasn't too bad, but that other prick, he knew exactly what he was poking, that poor fucking old man, and he poured his heart out, what he died for. He said it was in the end for nothing, and I agree. And then I saw this morning. I'm going to show you. Everyone a traitor to every value that these people held for the country, for freedom, and they've given it all away, the fucking lot. And here you go, look, I'll show you. I just fucking hate them. Fucking hate them. Traitor. An absolute fucking traitor to everything that the UK stands for. And he has the audacity to stand there and fucking hold them fucking well bloody poppies. Look at him. There's another bit coming up. It's even worse. Here you go. Here come the other scumbags. Fucking John Major, fucking traitor, the biggest traitor ever, Tony fucking Blair, and he's standing there next to Gordon Brown and that other fucking cunt, James Cameron. Look at him. How can we have this? Every Prime Minister a traitor. Every single one of them. That one the biggest. That is the one that started all this shit. I really don't know what my grandfather, Ernie, literally died for his country, for these scumbags, these traitors, to take over the country and give it away to Europe and the Middle East. He caused a war in the Middle East that should never have, ever have happened. There he is standing there. Look at him. They're all fucking standing there like we got away with it. That should be in their fucking backs, because that's what they are, backstabbers. I'm not provoking, I'm not advocating violence in any way or shape or form, and I'm sure they're rubber little knives. I don't mean that. What I mean is these people should be accountable through court of law. They should be in prison. Every last fucking one of them. And as I say, that poor guy. And then some councils now in the UK this year had to not have the Remembrance Day. But you've got the King of England who now speak Islam or whatever fucking stupid language it is. Had Ramadan at the Windsor. These people didn't fight for that. Or any of these people in these photographs. Not one of these people voted for the shit that's fucking going on today. Not one of them. Are you looking at this? Honestly, looking at these people. Are you really getting what's going on? The true patriots are the people at behind. They're the real patriots. These are the scumbags that's ruining the country, every fucking one of them. Smiling away, look at that. You have a good fucking laugh, you fucking cunt. Oh, look, another one. Another scumbag. Gave away our fishing rights. Fucking moron. Another one that's destroying the country. Good Muslim lady. She don't give a fuck about none of this. She don't give a fuck. She was probably gritting her teeth. Honestly, councils that are now not having Remembrance Day because it offends some people is ridiculous. Then on top of that, you now got a Muslim mayor in New York. That's going to end up the same way London did with that fucking other Sadiq cunt. You know what they do? Like the New York mayor, he went through all the mosques and all the minorities and all the blacks and everybody in New York and told them you need to vote. Because, was it 4/5 of New Yorkers didn't vote because they think the system's broken. And it is broken. So what they do, they're now winning through the vote because we don't vote. Or you don't vote. And that's why Keir Starmer and all these arseholes got into power. Because, was it 20 million didn't fucking vote in the last election in the UK? Because they couldn't see the point. And this is the result. Look at him. Brexit. He failed Brexit. Brexit would have worked. And as I say, coming from a fishing town in Lowestoft where we don't have a fishing industry anymore, and once upon a time we were the second biggest fishing port in the UK, he gave it all away to Europe. He gave it all away. The whole idea about Brexit was actually taking it all back. And they all blamed Nigel Farage for it. Yeah, he pushed it and pushed it, but he wasn't the one in bloody well charge, was he? This fucking arsehole was. That fucking cunt. He was in charge. Sorry, YouTubers. I'm sorry, I'm just not getting it. I'm not getting it at all. I'm really, really not. Please leave a comment. I don't care about... That's my first point as well. I'm now going to show you another little clip. Someone's done a real funny. It's a funny about the Labour Party, but it's actually true. I can't believe I've got mates who still stand by the Labour Party and what they're doing. All that stuff, all of Britain at war, all them years... My grandfather, PS, whatever they call it, he, after the war, my mum told me that he used to have terror nightmares, terror dreams, whatever they're called, nightmares, and he'd be screaming in his sleep because he saw so many of his mates die in the Second World War. He was in the Navy 25 and caught right at the end of his career into the war. He was on a boat that was mined, flew off into the air. I got all his injury records. He also was on HMS Wolfhound, and that got torpedoed and the back half went down with half the crew. Luckily he was on the front. He survived. And for what? For all of these fucking arseholes in suits. They just make me sick. They're sick to the pit of my fucking stomach. They're not British patriots at all. Anyway, before I start crying, because I would, let's have a look at a little clip someone's put together. I'm sorry we're doing this off the cuff today, folks, and I haven't put it together properly.
Welcome to Britain, where I lock you up for a tweet and then gaslight you about the country's biggest issues.
Welcome to Britain, where I ignore the grooming gangs and laugh after being accused of covering it up.
Welcome to Britain, where I can fiddle my taxes repeatedly and get away with it.
She did.
Welcome to Britain, where my budget blunders impose poverty on the poorest while lining the pockets of our donors.
Yep.
Welcome to Britain, where I can get blind drunk, beaten on my constituents, and only get a suspended sentence.
Yep. But you go to prison for a tweet.
Welcome to Britain, where terrorist attacks are brushed off as everyday crime.
Muslim.
Welcome to Britain, where my communist ideals were right at home with Labour until they got power.
Welcome to Britain, where
Dumb.
I release violent prisoners early and laugh about it in Parliament.
Welcome
And
to
he said it
Britain,
wasn't his fault.
where I call the grooming gang abuse a dog whistle and a little trumpet. Welcome to Britain, where I evicted my tenants and made them homeless, when it's my job to stop it.
Welcome to Britain, where I make anti-Semitic, racist, sexist jokes and wish a pensioner dies before he votes.
Welcome to Britain, where I also made anti-Semitic jokes, but I got to keep my job. Thank you, Starmer. Welcome to Britain, where grooming gangs run rampant, but I can still get a job in government after Epstein's Island.
Sorry, me again. I forgot to mention I also pocketed £40,000 in illegal rent.
Welcome to Britain, where we can do whatever we want, as long as you're Labour.
Well,
Traitors and turncoats, every one of them. And that David Lammy, now Deputy Prime Minister, I've got his actual titles here somewhere. I did some research on him. Apart from being, I've said this time and time again. You can educate an idiot, but he's still a fucking idiot. So David Lammy, what was up? His actual titles: David Lammy, Deputy PM, Lord Chancellor and Secretary of State for Justice, when he laughed in Houses of Parliament about them people that escaped. Then more importantly, that one that actually stabbed them 11 people. You pay him for each title, not just overall Deputy Prime Minister. He gets paid individually for all of that stuff. What did they do it all for, eh? What was it all for in the end? For a bunch of suits to give it all away, and that's what they've done. They're giving it all away. They are the scourge of the planet. The BBC, which they manipulate, look what's happened there with Donald Trump, what went on there. But then the BBC have been attacking Tommy Robinson for so many years, and Katie Hopkins. All unfounded shit. He's exposed it all. Panorama, he exposed that. Now it's exposed again. Do you know what'll happen? It'll just all carry on. It washes all over you, literally, and it will just carry on and on and on till one day you'll wake up and sneeze and there'll be a fine in your letterbox. Then it's game over. It's not quite game over yet, but it's getting bloody close. I do wonder what that brave man and that other brave man who gave his life in the Second World War would think of today. Like that 100-year-old vet. Two proud Lowestoft men fought for them to destroy everything that matters, every value that matters in Britain. Anyway, that's it. I've nearly had my first beer. I'm now going to have another one. I'm going to put on the war years. I know I am a war historian. Even at school we had European studies, and I'm really up on it. I weren't that bright at school because their teaching methods were shit. But Miss Jackson I did like. I think it was because she had big boobies. And when we had the panel, there was me, I remember me, Lynn Down, David Jackson, and my ex-girlfriend, Hayley Longthorne at the time. We all sat there, and then they start to say, explain how the Second World War started and explain what it was about. Well, there's me. And then Miss Jackson said, Gary, can you be quiet now and let someone else have a turn? So I kept quiet, and then no one said nothing. So I and went on and on and on. I passed. Of course I did. But that's the verbal stuff. When it comes to the written down stuff, slight dyslexia and all that stuff, didn't go down too well. Just remember what they all fought for. I'm now going to play this. Love or hate her, she believed in the island race, the British island race, of all different colours, of course, because we rely heavily in the UK, which we shouldn't do, but we do. Nurses and doctors from India and other places like that, they are good at what they do, of course. But when you've got over 4 million unemployed, someone's emptying my bins. That was all my empty bottles. So I don't get that. Why don't we put money in the UK into higher education free rather than getting them in debt, so they can actually get an education where you don't need immigrants coming in to do the jobs of the people that are unqualified. So they get qualified out of the country. Oi, be careful with my bottles. Do you know what I mean? There goes my weekend stash. Bye, bottles. See you next week. Yep. That was next door. You can tell she doesn't drink. And it'd be nice to live in a country where the harder you worked, you didn't get penalised. Do you realise if you get an education in the UK and here in New Zealand, you get an education and then you're in debt, and then you start work, and then they start fining you, it's called taxes, and then you want to earn more money to get some nice things and stuff, and the more money you earn, the more they fine you. Yet if you can't be bothered to work, they reward you. Here's some free money. Oh, you're not working? Here's a little house, we'll pay the rent. Or you can't afford, we'll pay for that. You get it? The system's not fair. I understand there's people who don't work and can't work, and I'm happy to support people who can't. There's a lot of people who could work. Look at the UK, there's now generations of families that have never worked. Drag them into college, make sure they get an education that's free. Give them some dignity back into their own lives and their community and their country. Give them the jobs, then you won't have to keep importing people. And that's without all the fucking Muslims. One guy come in, he's allowed 12 fucking family members who don't work. 75% of all Muslim women in the UK don't work. It's a true stat, do your research. I'm trying to be very calm now. So the reason I've not been doing any filming is I've been doing this, look. Oh, not got it switched on. Let's switch the old thing on, shall we? So I've been doing this. My mate John is another one. John built this boat in the 70s, triple planked, everything. It's got a proper engine in it. I'll get to him in a minute, so don't disappear. It's got a real engine in it. He was in the war. He was one of the unfortunate ones that was a Bevan boy. Now, if you don't know what a Bevan boy is, he told me, he went to the front line. I want to just be a regular soldier. There he is, even younger. I want to be a regular soldier, and the guy at the front said, no, you're going to be a Bevan boy. He went down into the mines. He had a coal mines, you remember them old things? And he was buried 3 times before he was kicked out, and then he used to take prisoners up and down the country. His brother Gordon, bless him, lovely man as well. His story was, I went and joined up. I wanted to be a pilot. I wanted to fly a Spitfire. This is a true story. And he joined the RAF, and they stuck him at the end of the runway in a bicycle shed fixing push bikes. And after the war, he went to Halfords, which is a cycle shop. You can't make it up, eh? So they fought in the war. They've talked about the war years in a different way, because one was at the end of a runway, and the other was down in the mines. I know they'd be disgusted as well. They would. So you have a good day, folks. Don't forget, you don't have to believe anything I say. Do your research, as I do. Have a good one, folks. Just think of them, and think of them ruling scumbags, because that's all they are. They're not British patriots. To us. Oh, it's the longest ever.